Okay, so I'm going to show how to create a dungeon using Photoshop. Okay, so start off, open Photoshop, hit Command N to create a new document. And you get to choose the size of the document. I want this to be sort of landscape mode, so let's make it wider than it is high. And I don't want the resolution to be that high because I'm sharing it on the web. And then I hit create, and I've got a canvas. And I can use Command plus to zoom in and Command minus to zoom out. So that's good. And this is going to be a lot easier if we use the snap to grid feature. So let me show you how you set that up. Go to Preferences, Guides, Grid, and Slices. And down here in a grid, let's create a grid line. Let's make 5 grid lines per inch. And let's make them a light gray. We have to go to View to show the grids. So let's do that. Show grid. Okay, so there's my grid, and let's just make sure the snap to grid feature is selected. So under View, Snap to Grid. Okay, it's selected. Great. Okay, so now I can just quickly outline my dungeon using the line tool, which I've selected, and I want the fill off. So that little red line means there's no fill. And I want the line to be 2 pixels wide. And I'm using this light blue color because that's the color approximately that TSR used back in the 70s. And okay, let's do it. So I'm just going to start outlining some corridors here. Oops, hit undo. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to put a little trap door right here. And I'll just put a little room right here. All right. And another corridor right there. Okay, and then we'll make a big room right here. Okay, good. And then we'll make some rooms off to the side here. Okay, great. So if I go over to my layer panel here, you might notice that for every line that I created, a new layer got created. And I'm just going to squash all those layers. The reason why is because I want to use the paint bucket tool. I go Layer, Merge Layers. Okay, and they're all squashed. And then Paint Bucket tool, and make sure the color is correct. Yeah, that's good. And then fill in the rest of the grid. Great. Now I'm going to create some doors. It's going to be easier to create the doors if I turn the snap to grid off. So I'll do that, and then let's just zoom in. And use the line tool. And I'll make that, I don't know, that looks good. Okay. Not quite right. Let's move that. And then the line right there. Okay. So there's half the door. And let's make the other half. That's too long, so I'll undo that with Command Z. Okay. That's not the right position, so grabbing the Move tool. Okay, great. Got a door, and I'm going to squash that down to a single layer, but I'm not selecting the background. I want to keep it in its own layer. So merging. Great. And now if we zoom back out, what I'm going to do is grab the lasso tool. And with the door layer selected, actually I can just give that layer a name, door, so we know what it was. I'm going to hit Command Copy, and then Command, oops, that didn't seem to work. Command V. I think my problem is I need to rasterize this layer. So did it. Yeah, when you're using things like the line tool, you get vector graphics, but for copy and paste, you need raster graphics, and I don't even want to explain what's going on there, but you can read up about it if you're interested. Okay, so copy, and then now when I use Command V, I get another copy of the door, and I can just move that over into position right there. Okay, it's even. Great. So now I got a door there, and I want to put a false door right here. Oops. Control Z, that's a mistake. Control Z that. Okay, good. And move it into the right place. And 1, 2, 3, I want, oops, 4 pixels on each side. And what are we doing here? We're doing 3 pixels on the inside, so need to move that. Okay, there. Got a fake door right there. And by the way, let me label my layers. And I'm going to squash the fake door down to a single layer. Label it. Okay, great. What else do I need to do here? So I want to put a secret door right here. And so I'm going to need, I'm going to use the text tool to create an S. And let's do it. And that's a little bit maybe too small. Let's make it, oops. Because I have that selected to change the font size. Okay, I've got, and maybe not make it heavy. Oh, that's too light. Okay. All right. All right. Now let me just rotate it and move it into position. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit that way. Okay, good. What else do I need? So now I want some large doors right here. So back to the line tool. Zoom in. And just bang these guys out. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see, I want that to be in a little bit. And let's see what, so by clicking the little eye icon next to the layer, I can figure out, that makes it invisible. And it helps me figure out which layer is which, because I have to select the layer in order to move the item on the layer. Okay. And let's do another one of these right there. And move them out a little bit. Okay. Let's select this guy and move him up a little bit. Okay, that looks good. And I'll just squash this down to a single layer. Give it a name. Gosh. And again, because I want to copy it, I need to rasterize it. And then using the lasso tool, Command C, Command V, back to the move tool, and move this door into place. That's good. Command V again, move that door into place. Okay, good. I got my big doors. And the only other feature I want is some stairs. These are a little bit tedious to make, unfortunately. Back to the line tool. and I'm just going to draw the stairs in. And I'm going to have them separated 2 pixels apart, and I usually do this in 2 steps because it's too hard to. I do each. How to explain it? I do each layer in 2 pieces because I don't know. It's just easier to get the length. It's too hard to get the length right in one shot. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. All right. Oops. Control Z. And do it again. Actually, I had that exactly right. That's too long. And move it down. And lengthen it just a little bit. Okay. And another one. And maybe we can do just one more. That's too long. Okay, good. So these shapes are my stairs, and because I want to have 2 sets of stairs, I want to copy them. So once again, I'm going to merge them, rasterize them, lasso tool, copy, and move them over here. Okay, let's way to zoom out. Okay, but they're pointing the wrong way, so we can fix that. Edit, transform, rotate 180. Great, and then just move those into position. Good. Okay, so now we got a little dungeon, and the last thing to do is to key it. So, okay, so I use the text tool, and I got my favorite font, Futura, selected. And okay, so let's just, wherever I want something interesting to happen, I'll just put a letter. Get that one. That's a little too close. I guess it's good. Okay, great. So so we've labeled rooms with letters, and then we can just this is going to be a small little dungeon, and there's space, so I can just put the keys. I can put the room descriptions just right on the dungeon. The only trick here is that I need to make the text white so that I can see it. So let's do that, and that'll be the start. And oops, wouldn't that work? Okay, so I can just give a description for each of the rooms, and I won't do that because it takes a lot of time. And oops, look at that. So I accidentally changed the color of that. So let's move it back. Okay, yeah, just finish it off by writing in the rest of the descriptions, and you're done. You got a dungeon. Way to go.